All right, Ben, I got to get to it. Are you ready for the pain? You're not ready for the pain. Okay, go.
Pain.
The pain, the Packer pain. Are you ready for it? Let me do it since I'm already talking about it.
Is that through the top 50 list?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Here's the Packer. Here's the Packer pain. Here's the Packer pain. Number 28 on this list. I'm going to read.
I was going to go there.
Number 28 on this list. I want you to compare what I'm about to say to the person the Packers then chose to select when they chose not to select this person.
Yep.
Players don't always have a smooth growth curve to their NFL careers, but there's something very satisfying when they do. This person has developed every season he's been in the league, building himself into the Defensive Player of the Year candidate we saw last year. He had the highest pass rushing grade of any edge defender in 2019. Notched 81 total pressures, made a whole host of game-changing plays, including 8 forced fumbles and a pair of interceptions, which Kevin King only had 3 more than that, and he's a freaking quarterback, even though he dropped 5 interceptions. He could have 10 last year.
You gave it away. You shouldn't have said that. Now I know it's not Kevin King.
Oh, sorry. If he plays to that level again, he will be one of the best defenders in the league in any position. But Browner already put it in the chat. It is TJ Watt.
I will never forgive the Packers for trading back and not taking TJ Watt. You know what? Never, ever. We'll never do it.
Let me tell you another one, Corey. There's 2 other guys on this list.
Just wait. Give me one more point before you go to that.
Okay.
Just think about the domino here. If the Packers had drafted TJ Watt, they would have only have signed one of the Smiths this past offseason, right? Because you wouldn't need another one. You wouldn't need both. And you maybe wouldn't have drafted Rashawn Gary. I don't know. But think about the domino effect of that. They could have potentially bolstered their team in another way if they had just made that pick. Instead, they have an often injured, long-armed, slow cornerback who can't catch. It's nice that he's tall, but he's not fast, can't change direction well, and can't catch. Anyway, okay, go ahead, Ben.
Well, here's what I was going to say. There are, let's see, how many guys did I star here? 1, 2, 3. There's 4 guys. 4 guys in the top 50 that either should be Packers. Well, no, they all should be Packers. So that means the Packers would have had 7 guys in the top 50, plus Darius Smith and Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones, who should have made it and didn't, but that's besides the point because they don't value running backs at all. So that would have been 10 guys in the top 50 of dynamic players. And here's the names. TJ Watt is the one you said because the Packers were dumb, traded back, and let the Steelers get him when they sit right there for him to take him. The other guys, there's 2 guys at one position, which actually led to other problems. And just like Corey said, I will never forgive the Packers for trading back and then letting the Vikings trade up 1 stop in front of them when they drafted Harrison Smith. And then the Packers had to take Dayton Jones. And, Harrison Smith's on this list. And if that wouldn't have happened, they would never had to draft Clinton Puke. And then they wouldn't have wasted 5 years of Clinton Puke sucking up the joint. Right? Right. And then if they would have still, and at the beginning before 2 years ago, when they knew Clinton Puke was a pain in the butt, they never would have kept him. If they would have just sat there and drafted Derwin James, who's number 31 on this list, instead of trading back and getting Jair Alexander, who's not a bad player, but he sure as heck ain't no Derwin James, and he sure as heck is in the top 50 Pro Football Focus top 50, like Derwin James is. They would have Harrison Smith and Derwin James as their 2 safeties. Can you imagine that? Holy crap! And then the other one is Casey Hayward, who was a Packer, and they didn't know how to use him, and they let him go. So think about that. They could have TJ Watt, Casey Hayward, and Derwin James and Harrison Smith at safeties had they would have just drafted where they were instead of trading back. And this year they decided to trade up to get a quarterback. They are the dumbest drafting team of all time. That's all I'm going to say. So that's the one thing. Here's my other. Are you ready for this? I'm going to ask you guys a question.
Can Rick refute that? Rick, what's the Raiders track record? Is it as bad? Well, let's hope it's as bad.
The Raiders is pretty bad.